नमः सर्वेभ्यः अद्वैत चिंतन वर्गे सर्वेषां स्वागतम्। अपरोक्षानुभूति परमहंस परिव्राजक शंकराचार्य विरद एवं स्वामी विद्यारण्य मुनिना विरचित दीपिका व्याख्या सहितम्। ओम वक्रतुंड महाकाय को सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्य कृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेद विभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम नमः परमऋषिभ्यो नमः परमऋषिभ्यः। विजया भगिनी शांति मंत्रम एवं प्रथमं श्लोकम् अपि।
ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। श्री हरिं परमानन्दम् उपदेष्टारमीश्वरं व्यापकं सर्वलोकानां कारणं तं नमाम्यहम्।
धन्यवादः।
नमो नमः।
नमो नमः। So we were continuing with the Shruti Vakyas which are being referred for the avidya. What can be the, what is, how, in which way the Shruti Vakyas are, saying that avidya or wrongful understanding of the truth, how it can be troublesome for the individual. So in the last class we completed this shloka. Doshopi vihita shrutya mrityor mrityum sa gacchati iha paschati nanatvam mayaya vanchito naraha. Ya naraha mayaya vanchitaha san iham nanatvam paschati. Because of the maya or avidya grastaha, so he starts seeing the nanatvam paschati. Ya nanatvam paschati saha mrityor mrityum gacchati iti shruti vakyasya ullekhaha asti. Actually that shruti vakya is from the Taittiriya Upanishad. Brugurvai varuni vidavaranam pidaram upasasara adihi bhagavo brahmevi tasma sat eva provacha annam prana chakshum shotram mano vachamiti tam hovacha yato va imani bhutani jayante ena jatani jivanti yat pravitya bisham vishanti tad vijnasasva. So here the Brahma is, even though in the Shruti Vakya it is saying that Brahma alone is become or apparently becoming the imani bhutani, all these bhutas which we are seeing, annam pranam chakshu chotram mano vat ayatani. So the one who sees, even it is karya karana bhava is what it is mentioned here. See, yasmat va imani brahmadini stamba paryadani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti pranan dharayanti vardhante vinashakale cha yat pravishanti yat brahma pradigacchati. So the waves, when they come for water, the waves has a name and form and an appearance and an activity which is seen apart from the sea or the ocean from which it comes. But the one who sees it as an independent entity without, other than the water, he is, is the avidyagrastaha or mayaya vanchita. Same way, imani bhutani brahmat eva Jayante, Jivanti, Pravishanti. So they, like the wave comes from the water, it support it even while as a wave it is in water only. And when the wave subsides, where does it go? It doesn't go anywhere other than the water from where it has come. Same way, Sarvani Bhutani Brahmanaha Eva. So that is why, but the one who do not see that truth, that the karya of nanatvam which we are seeing in the world is karanad abhinnaha. Karanam is Brahma. So the mud pot, mud alone is the mud pot, the gold alone is the gold ornament. Same way, the Brahma is what is appearing as Nana, the whatever is being referred as other objects of Prapancha. Sarvam Khalu Idam Brahma is the understanding one should have, that all these are indeed that Brahma alone in the name of names and forms, but in the substance as a reality, Atmatvena Sarvam Brahma Eva. That is what Shankaracharya says in the Sarvam Kalidam Brahma explanation. Atma Swarupena Sarvam Brahma Eva. So even though Sarvam iti, the word is used as Sarvam for the many, the Sarvam is only Prutak from the Adhishtanam of Brahma. It is not there. Either mere appearances in the same substratum of the awareness. Then we started this sloka, but we did not complete it. Brahmaiva sarva namani rupani vividhani cha karmanyapi samagrani vivarti ti shruti jagau shrutir jagau. Atra अन्वय अस्ति ब्रह्म एव सर्वनामानि विविधानि रूपाणि च एवं समग्राणि कर्माणि अपि. Brahma Vivarti iti Shruti Jagau. Jagau means Gayanti. So the Shruti is telling this. Nanu Nana Nama Rupa Karma Bedena Vijitrani Bhutani Katam Brahmatmakani Ityashankya Aha Brahmaiva iti. Trayam va idam nama rupam karma. That he is quoting the Brihadaranya Shruti there. The idam trayam in the name appear in the form of three: nama, rupa, karma, names and forms and actions. Iti Brihadaranya Shruti jagai gayanti gayam kurvanti iti swajatikarinaha shravayamasaha ityarthaha. Kimettada aha brahmaiva sarvanama namanyakashadi dehantan sampnya visheshan cha punar vividani rupani avakashadi avakashat ati vivadandan nana vikara visheshan api iti. So from what does the Brihadaranya Shruti is singing or is extolling for the Swadhadikarinaha? Brahma eva sarva namani akashadi dehandan. From the space, starting from the space, sapnya visheshan. It's only the name, with the name only they are different. Cha punar vividani rupani akashadi vividandan. From the space to the two-legged human beings, nana vikaradi visheshan. It's only vikaratvam darshayati. In the appearances they are think names and form. Api shabdartha rupagrahanam gandadi grahanasya api upalakshanam samagrani karmani. So shabda, by the name shabda, nama iti shabdartha. So when he is saying shabdartha, we should take the other indriyas also. Rupagrahanam gandadi, all the five sensory inputs. Upalakshanam, samagrani karmani, when they say samagrani karmani, akasha pradhanadini snana shauchadi kriya visheshan api vivarti. So all the actions also, when every object is from the same, the activity in them cannot be separate from the substrate. if substratum of the Brahma. So here karmani, samagrani karmani, it should include everything snana, shauchadin, kriya, visheshan, api. It is only that those activities are also not separate, because the one who is taking bath, the water, the act of taking bath, all those things are in the moment within the Brahma. There are no separate thing. If you look at individually, the man who is taking bath is Brahma. The water is from the same again, from the, it's only a name which is different from the Brahma. And the activity of the water flowing over the body of the man is also cannot be different from Brahma. There is no separate action, because the space is also Brahman. So if the movement of water in the space is also Brahman moving in space only. So from that only Kriya Visheshan Api Bhivarti. Now how? Rajju Adikam Iva Sarpani Pradivasam Dadati Adhisthana Darshana Shunyan Prati Darsheti Ityartaha. What does it show? The Rajju is the Adhisthana, and there Adikam is Sarpadi Pradivasam Dadati. The Sarpa Pradivasam is only when the Rajju is there. Only on a Rajju or a rope you can have the delusion of a snake. Nowhere else you can have that. So when we are having the awareness or knowledge of objects, it very clearly shows the knowledge or the consciousness or the awareness is the substratum on which we are giving the names and forms for the appearances. The appearances without the knowledge, they do not stand independent of the knowledge or the awareness. So that is why Pradivasam Dadati Adhisthana Darshana Shunyan Prati. If the Adhisthana is not there, if the consciousness or the awareness is not there, the Nama and Rupa of the Vivita Sarvani Rupani cannot independently exist without the awareness. Only in the awareness they exist. That is what the Shloka says. Now what does the Shruti says that the Trayamba idam Nama Rupam Karmam Tesham Namnam Vagityeda Deresham Ukta Mato Hi Sarvani Namani Upatishtanti. Uttishtanti. Ata etat esham sama etat hi sarva namanji nama sarvai nama sarvai sarvahi namabhihi sama medat esham brahmai etat hi sarvani namani vivarti. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. This is where the Trayamba idam namam rupam karma. That is what in the shloka it is quoted. So in the shloka what it is says that Trayam, what is being shown is namam rupam karma chetivi anatma iva. So that is anatma iva. Na atma. What is atma? Yat sachat aparokshat brahma. So Trayam, which is Nama, Rupa, Karma, Anatma Iva, even though they are not Brahma only, Na Atma Iva, Anatma Iva, because it is separate from the thing. Why it is not understood? You should understand when Yat Sakshat Aparokshat Brahma. That Yat Sakshat Aparokshat Brahma, this just one word is the most quoted word by Shankara in all his commentaries, and there are 3 or 4 pages of explanation. What does it mean by Yat Sakshat Aparokshat Brahma? So he keeps repeating that in the Bhashya. Here you can see that he has quoted that again. So how tasmat asmat iti rajjo ityedat eva arthaha trayamba ityadhyarambya na hi asmat anatmanah avyavrutti chittasya anatmameva lokam aham brahmasmi iti upasitum buddhihi pravartate. Now he is quoting from here another sloka from the Kathopanishad. Paranchigani Vyadranat Swayambhu Tasmat Parang Pasharina Andaratman Kaschidira Pratyagatmana Michat Avrita Chakshu Amrutatvam Ichan. So what does the sloka say? Paranchikani, for looking outwards. Vyadranat Swayambhu, the creator or the Brahma, when he became many, Soa Kamayata Bahusyam Prajayeti, is another Shruti sloka where he says that he willed to become many. Then Ajayamano Bahuda Vijayate, even though he did not become many, he appeared to have become many. So Swayambhu, when he did that activity, Vyatranat Swayambhu, Tasmat Parang Pashyati na Andaratman. This Khani, Indriyas, Parang Pashyati. They are all created in the body, placed in the body, turned external for objectifying the Nanatvam. But they are never trained, or they are not, by default, they are not capable of looking inward. Na Andaratman. It cannot see the source, the power which makes the eye see, the ear hear, the touch, say, Shabda, Srasya, Rasa, Rupa, Gandha. All the 5 organs, how do they perform and what is the energy? The eye cannot look back and find out the energy. Nor can the sound go back and look backward to see where is the energy for me to function is coming. Lekin, Kintu, Kaschid Dhiraha, one courageous person, here Dhiraha means Dhimantaha you have to take, is not the courage or the strength or which is to be named. Here Dhiraha we have to take Dhimantaha. Pratyagatmanam Aikshad. He saw Aikshad Pratyagatmanam. Pratyagatmanam means self Atma, his own Atma. By how? Avrutta Chakshun Amrutatvam Ichan. By Amrutatvam Ichan, because of the desire to become Amrutatva, he started looking inward. He turned his vision inward. So what does it mean that here in the earlier line, Acharya has said that Brahmaham asmi iti upasitum buddhihi pravartate. So that source, these are all my sense organs and I am not the sense organ. There is this source of energy or the source of Chitta or Chaitanya from within me, because of which my eyes are able to see, my ears are able to hear. So all those things are coming from inside this body. So let me see where the source of that Chaitanya coming from, to know that Dhimantaha, Kaschid Dhimantaha, Avrita Chakshu. He started looking toward the source. Avrita Chakshu doesn't mean physically he turned eye inward or he closed the eye. You cannot close the eye and look inward. You may close the eye means you stop seeing, that's all. But you can't see inward. So what does it mean by Avrita Chakshu? Avrita Chakshu means he started inquiring toward the source of that, what is the power behind the source of the vision, or what is Kene Shitam Padati Prekshitam Mana Kena Prana Pratama Prairiyuktaha Kene Shitam Vachamimam Vadandi Chakshutchotram Kahute Evo Junati. In the Kena Upanishad, this is how the Upanishad starts. The students ask, what is that force with which the eyes are able to see, what the ears are able to hear? So that is how the inquiring person will do that. So such an inquiry was done by this Kaschid Dhiraha and he saw Pratyagatmanam Aikshad. So Upanishad is guaranteeing that when you do that, it is not that you are doing in vain. Pratyagatmanam Aikshad, with the guarantee that Upanishad say that the Pratyagatma, the Aparokshanubhuti of that vision is the one which is called Pratyagatmanam Aikshad, the way in which we see our own reality. Then he is giving example of which is very familiar with all the standard examples which we said. Suvarna jayamanasya suvarnatvam cha shashvatam brahmano jayamanasya brahmatvam cha tada bhavet. So suvarnat jayamanasya suvarnatvam yatha suvarnat jayamanasya suvarnatvam. From whatever has born out of suvarna has a suvarnatvam in it. Cha shashvatam tata, always. Shashvatam means it can never be without gold. All the gold ornaments can never be without gold, even though that is come out of the gold as a metal. The suvarnatvam can never be separated out of that suvarna jayamanasya. Therefore, it is shashvatam. Tata brahmana jayamanasya brahmatvam bhavet. So, whatever comes out of Brahman, that also can never be separated out of the Brahman. Because that mud can be never taken out of the mud pot, nor can the gold be taken out of the gold ornaments. Same way, the substratum or the material with which upadana karanam is and nimitta karanam both being the same Brahman. So, brahmana jayamanasya tasmat brahmatvam katapi na vibhajyate. Ita atra loka prasiddham drishtantam aha suvarneti iti sugamam. So there the Vidhyaranya Muni has not given any detailed commentary for that. He has just written by one word only. Atra loka prasiddham drishtantam aha suvarna iti. And sugamam. It's well understood. So with that, see, he is making that, example also very clear to that. The previous sloka said, no, nama, rupa, karma, all are from the same source, the consciousness which it has come. Same way, suvarna jayamanasya suvarnatvam evam brahmana jayamanasya brahmatvam samanameva. Iti is the sloka here. Now comes the next shloka. Do you want to read or should I read and explain? Which will be better? If you want to read, then I can make each one of you read in turn.
Yeah,
I would like to read Mahodaya.
Okay, then you read Shloka Bhagini.
स्वल्पमप्यन्तरं कृत्वा जीवात्म परमात्मनोः अस्तु परमात्मनोः यः संतिष्ठति मूढात्मा भयं तस्याभिभाषितम्. पदच्छेदः स्वल्पमपि अन्तरं
भयं तस्य अभिभाषितम्.
तस्याभिभाषितं किल. पदच्छेदः स्वल्पमपि अन्तरं कृत्वा जीवात्म परमात्मनः यः संतिष्ठति मूढात्मा भयं तस्य अभिभाषितम्. अन्वयः यः मूढात्मा जीवात्म परमात्मनः स्वल्पमपि अन्तरं कृत्वा संतिष्ठति तस्य भयं श्रुत्या अभिभाषितम्. एवं कर्तृकर्मादिकारक घटस्य एकाधिष्ठान रूपत्वे सिद्धेपि भेददर्शिनो भयम् आह स्वल्पेति. स्वल्पमपि अन्तरम् अस्य अपि उपास्य उपासक रूपं भेदं कृत्वा कल्पयित्वा यः तिष्ठति तस्य भयं भाषितं. यदा हे वैश एतस्मिन् उदरमन्तरम् तत्र किं भवति महोदय?
Aso vai etasmin udaramantaram gurute atatasya bhayam bhavati.
एतस्मिन् उदर मन्तरं कुरुते अथ तस्य भयं भवति इत्यादि श्रुति इति अर्थः.
Etasmin udaram, that because of the sandhi, the nakarasya dvitvam bhavati.
द्वित्वं भवति तत्र. एतस्मिन् उदरं.
Because it, what you call anunasika.
यरोनुनासिको अनुनासिके वा?
Anunasiko va anunasiko, because of that the anunasika comes.
पदान्तस्य जलि इति सूत्रेण
Jala, the
अनन्तरमेव यरोनुनासिको अनुनासिको वा.
Yeah. Yasmin plus udaram. So yasmin udaram.
कुर्वन्नपि इति मन्ये. कुर्वन्नस्ति. धन्यवादः महोदय.
धन्यवादः. अत्र स्वल्पम् अप्यन्तरं कृत्वा जीवात्म परमात्मनोः यः सन्तिष्ठति मूढात्माः भयं तस्य अभिभाषितम्. अन्वय यः मूढात्मा जीवात्मा परमात्मनः स्वल्पमपि अन्तरं कृत्वा सन्तिष्ठति. So the Mudatma, one who do not understand that Brahmana eva yata swarna, so the gold is that is everything as gold ornament, or the pot is nothing but mud, the waves are nothing but water. Same way, the Mudatma who do not see the ekatvam in the srishti, in the prapancha, nama, rupa, karma, in the trayam, there is that unity he doesn't see. He is a Mudatma. He makes a difference. Jivatma Paramatmana Swalpam api Antaram Krutva. He makes a difference between the Jivatma Paramatma. Ya Santishtati, Ya Mudatma Santishtati, the one who sees him. Tasya Bhayam Abhivashitam. Shruti Abhivashitam. Shrutya Abhivashitam. In the Taittiriya Upanishad, he is saying that Yada Hyevesha etasmin udaramantaram kurute atatasya bhayam bhavati iti. So this is again from the Taittiriya Upanishad, the quoting is being done. So what it is saying that even see dvayadvai bhayam bhavati. If we are afraid of something, it is because there is something other than us. The moment we find that there is something other than me, you will be or we will be, it is by our nature that otherness brings a fear or limitation to minus. I become limited because of the other. And because the other limits me, I am also afraid of that. Not because that it need to be assaulting me or doing anything. Because it is challenging my own limitlessness and limiting me, the other becomes a worry or a object of content for me to be afraid of. So this aspect is being told in many of the Upanishads. Dviyad vai bhayam bhavati, dvayad vai bhayam bhavati. Then in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, after teaching everything to Janaka, Yajnavalkya says, Abhayam praptosi. Now you have reached the state of Abhayam because you have started seeing the Ekatvam. Aham Brahmasmi, that attitude has come inside. So Abhayam praptosi, hey Janaka. So that is how Yajnavalkya concludes his lectures to Janaka. So there also the word Abhayam is used. So Abhayam is only to show that, Yatra Anyat Pashyati, where you see something other than you, Yatra Anyat Vijanati, if you see something as other than you, Anyat Shrunoti, if you think that there is something to be other than that, then Alpamasmi, then you are limited. Na Alpe Sugamasmi, Bhuma Iva Sugam. So in the Bhuma or the Brahma, that state of completeness, only happiness is there. Whenever you have anything other than you, there is a limitation, and the limitation brings unhappiness in us. Tarati Shokam Atmavid. The one who knows that the nature of Atma as I am Atma Brahma. This Atma is Brahma and Brahmaivaham, that's me. Sarvam Khaluidam Brahma. So all those Shruti Vakyas, if you are able to imbibe in your knowledge, then Tarati Shokam Atmavid. That is the only remedy for all your sorrows. Because sorrows are because you consider there is something other than me. Either you will be looking for acquiring that or distancing from that, or you will have the fear from that. All anyatvatvena, anyata, that their separatedness is the cause for all our emotions and feelings and thoughts and fear. So if you want to be shokasya param, if you want to cross the sorrow of ocean of sorrow, tarati shokam atmavid, yatra na anyat pashyati na anyat shrunoti na anyat vijanati bhumaiva sukham. So that is the bhuma which is being told in the Chandogya Upanishad. Here also that is being told that how it is being the antaram bhayam bhavati kriyedahade. Evam karma kartradi karaka gadasya eghadishtana rupatve siddhe api vedadarshino bhayam aha swalpeti. So here karma kartradi kadadi karaka gadasya eghadishtana rupatve siddhe api. Even though that the pot has been known to be made of the same pot, mud, which is ekatva adhisthana rupatve sadi, even though known, Veda darshanam, because you give a name and shape for the pot, you are dealing it with a different thing. Same way, everything in life, from the deha onwards, everything we deal with that as it is separate. The objects around us, we deal it as separate. So, vedatvena bhayadarshina bhayam aha iti swalpam api antaram upasya upasaka rupam vedam kritva kalpayitva rupam kritva, vedam kritva means kalpayitva yaha tishtati. So, upasya upasaka rupam also he is including here. We think that doing upasana is great, but in the reality the upasya upasaka bhavam is good in the initial stages to bring your mind and control, but ultimately even that rupa, that the veda drishti of upasya upasaka rupa veda drishti, if that remains, then you will be afraid of the upasaka. I am the upasaka, and upasya means somebody who is separate from me. That upasya will become powerful, and he will be. This is what happens in most of the religious texts. When they bring in that attitude of God as almighty, all powerful, and can do all those things. So a result of fear is being created in the religious text. It is for the purpose of bringing morality in the society, but people are not able to get out of that. Morality is not out of fear, which it should come. It should come out of knowledge. Then the morality has a meaning. A morality which is instilled by the fear of something other than you will be always like a Damocles sword hanging on your head. And if you want the moment that the other which is being afraid of is not, when it is being challenged, and if nobody is able to prove the existence of that, then the faith and the religion, all those limits what they put it, and for making the morality as a result of fear goes through the window. Then they become either the agnostic or atheist and say that I don't believe in all those things. By default, by the quality of the mind or the person's education, that person can still be morally correct, but he is no more controlled by the fear of the religion for being moral. That is a different attitude, but that bhayam goes away. So you see that So because of the bhayam, there was the thing. Now when the bhayam goes, he is no more afraid of it. Yada hi eva esha etasmin udaram antaram kurude atha tasya bhayam bhavati iti shruti. So the Shruti Taittiriya Upanishad says that whenever there is in alpamasya antaram kurude ched, if you are making even an iota difference like the upasya upasakatvam, then you will be afraid of that. Now here is the Upanishad, Taittiriya Upanishad portion. Who want to read it? There are 2 pages. Vijaya Bhagini, you want to read it?
Astu ji.
Okay.
असद्भाव असद्भाव जी पूर्वं शङ्करभाष्यम् इति 4 pages उक्तं खलु एतदपि
This is also Shankarabhashyam only. This is also Shankarabhashyam only.
अस्तु परन्तु विद्यारण्य किञ्चित् पूर्वम् उक्तवान् खलु तत्र एतत् विषये 4 पेजेस् अस्ति तत्र न दत्तम् इति उक्तवान् खलु एतदपि वाट्साप् द्वारा प्रेषयतु किञ्चित् ज्ञापकमस्ति चेत् अस्तु असत्वा इदमग्रमासीत् ततो वै सज्जायत तदात्मानं स्वयं उपकृत तस्मात् तत् सुकृतम् उच्यते किं जी
अकृत स्वयं अकुरुत
स्वयं अकृत आम् स्वयं अकृत तस्मात् उत्सुकृतम् उच्यते इति यत् वै तत् सुकृतं रसोः वै सः रसं ह्यवायं लब्धवान् अन्धि भवति किम् अस्ति अत्र अस्तु को
लब्ध्वानन्दी भवति
लब्ध्वानन्दी भवति को ह्यवान् यात् कः प्राण्यात् यदेष आकाश आनन्दः न स्यात् एषः ह्यवान् नन्दयाति यदा ह्ये वैश्य एतस्मिन् अदृश्य एनात् अनिरुक्ते
See, it is like this. Etasmin adrishye anatme anirukte anilaye abhayam.
प्रतिष्ठां विन्दते अस्तु अतः सो अभयं गतः भवति ह्ये वैश्य एतस्मिन् उदरमन्तरं कुरुते अतः तस्य भयं भवति तत् त्वेव भयं विदुषो अमन्वानस्य तदपि एष श्लोको भवति तैत्तिरीय उपनिषत् भृगुवल्ली 7.1 मध्ये अस्ति असद्वा विवरणं दातुम् इदानीं
दिस् इस् भाष्यकारस्य वचनम् असद्वा पठतु
शङ्करस्य असद्वा इदमग्र आसीत् असत् इति व्याकृतनां रूपविशेष विपरीत रूपम् अव्याकृतं ब्रह्म उच्यते न पुनरत्यन्तमेव असत् न ह्यसतः सज्जन्मास्ति इदम् इति नाम रूपविशेषवद् व्याकृतं जगत् अग्रे पूर्वं प्रागुत्पत्तेः ब्रह्मैव असद् शब्दवाच्यम् आसीत्। ततः असतः वैसत् प्रविभक्त नाम रूप विशेषम् अजायत उत्पन्नम् इति तत्र तत्।
धन्यवादः। असद्वा इदमग्र आसीत् ततो वै सजजायत एदात्मानं स्वयमगरुत तस्मात् तत् सुकृतमुच्यत इति। यद्वै तत् सुकृतं यशो वै सः रसं ह्येवायं लब्धानन्दी भवति को ह्यैवान्योकः प्राण्यात् एदेश आकाश आनन्दो न स्यात् एष ह्यैवानन्दयाति यदा हो वैश्य एतस्मिन्नदृश्ये अनात्मे अनुत्ते अनिलये अभयं प्रतिष्ठां विन्दते अतः सोऽभयं गतो भवति यदा ह्यो वैश एतस्मिन् उदरमन्दरं कुरुते अत तस्य भयं भवति तत्त्वावो भयं विदुषो मन्वानस्य तदप्येष श्लोको भवति इति प्रथम मन्त्रमस्ति। तत् तैत्तिरीय भृगुवल्ली सप्तम पाठस्य। So what is this saying? This is talking about asadva idamagra asit. So we all have heard that sadeva saumya idamagra asit. Sat alone was there in the beginning. But why does here they say asadva idamagra asit? It is totally contrary to that. Tato vai sadajayata tadatmanam swayam akrutah. So here Shankara is explaining this in a very beautiful way. Asadva idamagra asit. He is taking that sentence. Asad iti. What is asad? Vyakrutta nama rupa vishesha viparita rupam. Avyakrutam brahma uchyate. So even though Sat was in the beginning, but before becoming the names and forms, Nama Rupa, Vishesha, Viparita Rupam, Avyakritam, the Brahma itself, this is the Satkarivada, actually speaking. The pot, before becoming the pot, was in the mud as pot without the name and the form. You understand, no?
Yeah, of course.
So that is what is called asad rupa. So asadva idamagra atit means what you see as asad is in the nama rupa. Here is asad. Sat is Brahma, and all these are all asad is the idea we all have got. These are all jada. Your Chaitanya alone is the Sat. Their Jada is not, Brahma. So we should only pray for the Chaitanya, or we should look for the Chaitanya. That is being destroyed by the statement Asadva idamagrasi. The Asad, which is in the form of name and form, nama, rupa, vishesha. Taesham viparita rupakam avyagrata rupena Brahma uchyate. So the pot, before becoming the name and form of the pot, was itself available in the mud. But because it didn't have the name and the form, we didn't see. So the pot as a asad was available in the mud. Therefore, we can say the lump of mud is pot in Avyagrata Rupa. Avyagratam Brahma Uchyate. Same way, Sat, which is before becoming the Nanatvam, the names and forms in the Avyagrata Rupam as Brahma itself was available in that Sat. So, Sat, Asat, both are there in the same entity. Just a fraction before it became the name and forms or appeared in the form of thing, it was there in the thing. Now the best example will be just before becoming the wave as a name and form rising out of the water, The wave itself was available in the water in the form of asat. But we cannot see that because the appearance has not happened. So we can say asat wave is in the Avyakrita Rupa in the water. Same way, all this Nama Rupa is appearing in the knowledge or the consciousness, but in the pure consciousness, the same when you see the consciousness in everything, yatrana anyat pashyati anyat shrunoti, at that moment of the time, these names and forms will not have the reality of independent existence. The independent existence of the name and form of the objects in CC, you will see it is as awareness. So asat, Brahma eva, that is in the form of the Brahma eva. This is what Shankara is explaining in that. So, na hi asat sajjam asti idam iti nama rupa vishesha dvayam advayakritam jagat. Dvayakritam jagat. Visheshavat dvayakritam jagat. Nama rupa visheshavat dvayakritam jagat. It's only Nama Rupa Visheshatvam, same Brahma as Dvaya Kritam Jagat. Agre Purvam Pragutpanne, before the creation, Brahma Eva. It was Brahma alone. Asat Shabda Vacha Asit. So in the sphere, when you have the names and forms in the Asat Vach Shabda Vachyam, without the name and form in the Brahma Eva Asit. They are all were in Brahma ini. Tata asataha by Sat. Therefore, asataha, from in that asat only Sat. Pravibhakta Nama Rupa Vishesham Ajayata Utpannam. Before Pravibhakta, without an independent Nama Rupa Vishesham Ajayata, without taking the form Utpannam iti. And then there is a long explanation given by Shankara in this sloka. So I am not getting into that because he is explaining the entire Satkaryavadyam in the entire topic in this particular one. But we will go to the aspect of Udaramandaran Gurudeyata Tasya Bhayam Bhavati. Right? So we will look into this one.
अत्र विपरीत रूपम् इत्युक्ते किं जी?
What was the pot before becoming the pot?
Pragabhava.
Pragabhava you can't say, because Pragabhava is an abhava if it had not been there. Right?
Yeah.
But it was there without the Nama Rupa. So you can't say Pragabhava. That is what is called Vivarita Rupam. The Rupam of the pot or the wave, when appears, then there is a Rupa. Before the appearance, it is called the Viparita Rupam. From the Viparita Rupam, the Rupam comes.
Astu ji.
Right. Oh, sorry.
Astu ji.
Yeah, just a minute. I closed the. You may not be able to see that now. You are able to see the screen? No.
Yes, Mahodaya, we can see it. You have it on Abhayamiti Kriya Visheshanam.
Not the previous one. This is, isn't it?
Yeah, I will. Abhayamiti Kriya Visheshanam. Anybody want to read it? There are 10 minutes.
I will read.
Yeah.
It.
Okay.
Abhayamiti Kriya Visheshanam अभयम् इति वा लिङ्गान्तरं परिणम्यते प्रतिष्ठां स्थितिमात्मभावं विन्दते लभते अथ तदा सः तस्मिन्नात्वस्य भयहेतोरविद्याकृतस्य आदर्शनादभयं गतो भवति स्वरूपप्रतिष्ठः हि असौ यदा भवति तदा न अन्यत् पश्यति न अन्यत् शृणोति न अन्यत् विजानाति अन्यस्य हि अन्यतो भयं भवति न आत्मन एव आत्मनो भयं युक्तम् तस्मात् आत्मैव आत्मनः अभयकारणम् सर्वतो हि निर्भया ब्राह्मणा दृश्यन्ते तत्सु भयहेतुषु तच्चायुक्तम् अस्ति असति भयत्राणे ब्रह्मणि तस्मात् तेषाम् अभयदर्शनादस्ति तदभयकारणं ब्रह्मेति कदा असौ अभयगतो भवति साधकः यदा नान्यत् पश्यति आत्मनि च अन्तरं वेदं न कुरुते तदा अभयं गतो भवति इति अभिप्रायः यदा पुनरविद्यावस्थायां हि यस्मात् एषः अविद्यावान् अविद्यया प्रत्युपस्थापितं वस्तु
तैमिरिकद्वितीयचन्द्रपश्यत् आत्मनि
तैमिरिकद्वितीयचन्द्रवत् पश्यत्यात्मनि च एतस्मिन् ब्रह्मणि उत अपि अरम् अल्पमपि अन्तरं छिद्रं वेददर्शनं कुरुते वेददर्शनमेव हि भयकारणम् अल्पमपि वेदं पश्यति इत्यर्थः अथ तस्माद् वेददर्शनाद् एतोः तस्य वेददर्शिनः आत्मनो भयं भवति तस्माद् आत्मैव आत्मनो भयकारणं विदुषः तदेतदाह तत् ब्रह्मत्वेव भयं वेददर्शिनः विदुषः ईश्वरो अन्यो मत्तः अहमन्यः संसारीत्येवं संसारी इति एवं विदुषः वेददृष्टम् ईश्वराख्यं तदेव ब्रह्म अल्पमपि अन्तरं कुर्वतः भयं भवति एकत्वेन अमन्वानस्य तस्मात् विद्वानपि विद्वानेवासौ यो अयमेकम् अभिन्नम् आत्मतत्त्वं न पश्यति उच्चेदहेतु दर्शनात् उच्चेत् आभिमतस्य उच्चेदहेतु दर्शनात् अभिमतस्य भयं भवति अनुच्छेद्यो ह्युच्छेदहेतुः तत्र असत्ति उच्छेदहेतौ उच्छेद्ये न तद्दर्शनकार्यं भयं युक्तम् सर्वं च भयवत् दृश्यते सर्वं च भयवत् दृश्यते तस्मात् जगतो भयदर्शनात् गम्यते नूनं तदस्ति भयकारणमुच्छेदहेतुरनुगच्छेद्यात्मकं यतो जगद्विभेति इति तत् एतस्मिन् अपि अर्थे एषः श्लोकः भवति
धन्यवादः It's not very tough to read. This is Shankara Bhashya as it is. So a bit of practice will make you able to read it. Basically, we should understand how to padachedam katam karaniyam. Once you know that, the meaning becomes much. It's very simple Sanskrit also, if you look at it.
Yeah.
But the logic is very important, but the language is very simple. So, Dhanyavadam. Here also it is being explained how the bhaya, what are the causes, how does the vidushaha, avidushaha, how do they, how it is being explained in all those things. Do you want me to complete it? It will take another 20 minutes or 15-20 minutes for me to explain. Otherwise, I can start this sloka again for next class also. What do you say?
How do you feel about it, Modaya? Are you able to?
Because I will not be able
next class is fine too.
If you rush right through, if I rush through.
No, let's not rush through, Modaya.
Yeah, we'll do it in next class.
Yeah, because this is a bigger paragraph also, and there are a lot of minute things which Didiya Chandravat, all those things have to be neatly explained. Then only that. What does Shankara? How does he see it? Why this? Because this is a very important aspect. The separatedness, what is happening to our day-to-day life, why it is that, and how we should look at it from the point of view of Advaita is very, very clearly explained by Shankara in this paragraph.
Then let's spend some more time on it next time, Modaya.
Yeah, I think that we'll do that. I'll like this class what I did. I'll take this sloka again in the next class. But this part I'll take it, not the earlier page, because Asat I have already explained. So I don't think I should spend time on the Asatva either Magravasi. But Abhayamiti Kriya Visheshanam iti Aradhya, I think I'll explain the next class.
So Modaya, Asat is in English what they refer to as potentiality. That's the word they use.
Yes, potentiality as Kriya Vishesha Rupam. What they call it as Avyakritam. The moment it becomes Vyakritam, then Nama Rupa appears in that.
Right, okay.
So the potency of a pot or the potency of a wave is there in the substratum. But only when they exhibit the name and form, there is a feeling of separatedness, even though there is no separatedness from it. Same is the case for the entire Jagat. The entire Jagat, everything in the world which we have through the 5 sense organs and the mind and the intellect, what we are experiencing as separate, that feeling of separatedness is because we don't see the substratum of the consciousness or the awareness in which they appear. The name and form is what we are using for transaction, vyavahara. But if we look into the substratum, if we remove the name and form, what is that we are experiencing in the multitude of the world? It is pure experience only, anubhavam only, no? You remove the name and form of everything. Then what is that relationship between you and the objects outside? Mere experience. What we call it as anubhavam. That anubhavam is anubhavam separate as an independent entity, or is the same anubhavam is there in you also when you say I? Do you feel the I as an anubhavam or as a object separate?
Atra drikdrishya vivekam asti, Kaluji.
Yeah, drikdrishya vivekam also, in drikdrishya vivekam is when you are creating that difference and then resolving into one. But here nanatvam, asadva idamagra asid, when they say that we are now supposed to be looking what is that avyadrutam actually mean by that. All our experiences in every moment of life is not separate from the experience that we all feel as what I. Even I is an experience in that anubhavam. The ego of I as a separate nama rupa is also an anubhava. That is why it is becomes part of the jagat. But if you look from the anubhava point of view, everything is only anubhava, experience or awareness or consciousness or existence, whatever name you want to call it. They are all one, but different aspects only. But we so much of the dependency on the name and form and the kriya visheshanam of the names and forms, we don't see the anubhavam of the objects. We are depending upon the name, form and the kriya visheshanam or the qualities of the object, but we don't see that that is not separate, then do not have a separate existence if anubhava is not there or the experience is not there. So through and through everything, it is the anubhava, including the ego of the individuality of mine is also an anubhava for me in my consciousness. There is no difference between the anubhava of my as an individuality and the anubhava of an object which I am considering separate from me. But the moment I make a separatedness between me and that object, andaram bhavati, dvidiyam bhavati. And that is the cause of bhayam. Right?
Yes.
Any questions?
No, we will have such an excellent explanation in Agrima Varga.
Yes. Because this, as the slokas get into, it is teaching about the Aparokshanubhuti. So we will be getting more and more closer to that aspect of experiential part of it more and more in our then coming slokas. That is why I am bringing the relevant, the Shankarabhashyam also for the explanation, because that goes hand in hand.
Excellent, Mahodaya. Thank you for doing that.
If I had taken only the sloka and explained it, the punch or the punch won't be coming unless we know what exactly Shankara has in mind when he says that. Because both are written by the same person, no?
Astu ji.
Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Dhanyavadah. Namaskara.